Boat moving up their sprinters.
Lampre Merida up there then on the left-hand side there in the pink and blue if you want to look out for their jerseys. You have Trek Factory Racing in the black and white, the American squad racing for ʻdʒiːro. And as you can see, it's just changed hands in the last kilometre or so. Those of a general classification nature. Now that they're inside the last couple of kilometres, they know that if there's a crash, they get the same time. Doesn't matter. They want to stay out the way and out of any crashes now. And they're going to see these sprinters trying to do the best and play their own game. Here we go, final kilometre then, as Trek Factory Racing and Lampre Merida are ready to fight it out. Andre Greipel is there in his German champions jersey as well. It's going to be a real fight to the line, not the most organised, with 1, 2, 3 or 4 teams even trying to take it up. Here we go with Orica Green Edge then. You're looking for the white Best Young Riders jersey of Michael Matthews. Tom Bonen is there as well, CCC with a couple of opportunities. Rutkiewicz is there as well, Patetsky as well, and it is Elia Viviani who's allowed to fight for his own wheel. Tom Bonen on his wheel with Andre Greipel a couple of wheels back as well. Luca Mez gets us there as well as we're into the final 350 metres. It's all ready to lead out Modolo though. Modolo on the left hand side. Oh, there's a bit of a nightmare. Modolo out of the game. Modolo is gone. Lampre not going to contest this. It's coming through the centre now with ʻdʒiːro. Greipel hits the front on the right hand side. It's Greipel. Greipel though with Hofland hitting it. And here comes Viviani. Viviani and Hofland. Viviani to the line, and it is the Skyman who gets the win. Elia Viviani finally has a win for the first time at the Giro d'Italia. What a messy sprint. Greipel going early, Lampre with problems of that staying on the bike, and in the end it came to Hofland who came out of nowhere, but also Elia Viviani who just about had the strength. My oh my, take a deep breath everyone.
You have our permission to take over. What an exciting sprint that was, but what a win by Elia Viviani, taking out his first win in the Giro d'Italia. Team Sky will be happy with that, but they rode so well. They had 2 riders. They had Puccio, and they had the bearded Bernie Eisel, who looked after their man, but then it was up to him to deliver. He waited, and he only came round a flying Marina Hofland with about 20 metres to go to take the stage. Look at the delight on his face there.
Elia Viviani, the man from the northeast of Italy, from the Venetian region. It was tight. It was so tight to the end. Andre Greipel has come over to congratulate him. He opened his sprint a little too early, suggests. It's a shame because he was the man who was fantastically placed to try and take something. Viviani, all respect to him. Yes, you mentioned he had Eisel for a while. He had Puccio, but in that final kilometre, he was all on his own. And he was there or thereabouts on the wheel of Tom Bonen. Viviani wins by just under a wheel from Hofland. Greipel in 3rd place. Michael Matthews not far away, and Alessandro Petacchi up there as well. Talk us through this final kilometre.
It's a very interesting finish here from the Lampre Merida especially. But look on the left-hand side, Orica Green Edge take it up looking after Michael Matthews. So Matthews there in 2nd wheel in the white. But then there was a very interesting situation that occurred between the Lampre Merida duo. It looked like Ferrari and Modolo. Modolo nearly ended up in the barriers, but Michael Matthews really exposed it. Great lead out, but given the gradient, and there's the sprint opening up from Lampre Merida on the right-hand side. But look what happens here. It's actually Matthews that causes a little bit of a problem. I don't think there's any shenanigans there at all. That's a pretty straight sprint. Something happened just under the bridge. Look at Viviani now in 4th place. Greipel goes on the left-hand side. And look at Hofland. Hofland takes the wheel of Greipel. Great sprinting by Hofland, already a race winner this year. But Viviani times it perfectly on the wheel of Hofland, comes round in with 25 metres to go, just throws his bike, and there's the win. Superb win from the Italian, punches the air with delight.
Elia Viviani, winner of stage 2 of the Giro d'Italia. A messy sprint, a mightily messy sprint. But big hugs all round for everybody. Salvatore Puccio going across to congratulate him. Greipel is here on the right-hand side in the white German champions jersey. Viviani in the black on the left for Team Sky, the Italian. In the middle in the yellow and white you had Hofland. Hofland recently a winner, as Matt mentioned there. On the right-hand side here, Michael Matthews, who may well be our new leader today. We shall see.
We shall see. Don't know if there's going to be any time gaps. What a win, but look at the gaps there. Pataki on the left-hand side. We knew Pataki was in the mix, the oldest man in the race, taking a top 6 right there. So great ride for him. But today is all about this man. We said he had to freestyle it. He was looked after very well in the last kilometres, but here's the confirmation of the result.
Elia Viviani wins stage 2 of the Giro ahead of Moreno Hofland, same time. Andre Greipel in third with Mez gets fourth. Petacchi fifth in the end. ʻdʒiːro, Matthews, Apollonio, Colli and tiralongo of all people in the top 10. Crazy, messy day. Plenty of Italians up there and an Italian winner for a British team, Elia Viviani. Michael Matthews, the new Maglia Rosa, finishing ahead of Simon Gerrans, although he was on the same time, so he takes over the lead for what will be a 7th day in pink for him in his career tomorrow. Simon Clark is currently third. Oh, what a day. We were trundling along for a while, looking at the countryside, enjoying the sunshine. And then the last 20 Ks, a right old mess. Viviani enjoyed that, didn't he? Lots of second places so far. 31 wins. It's his first Grand Tour stage, though, and this is a win that he's fought for throughout of his career. Elia Viviani, winner of the stage for Team Sky today.
Alla periferia di Parigi ha conquistato la medaglia d'argento nel campionato del mondo dell'americana, la specialità regina delle gare su pista ed Elia Viviani oggi è il vincitore della tappa numero 2.
Welcome back to Genova, where we've just seen a really exciting finish to stage 2 of this year's Giro Italia. Juan Antonio Flecce is with me to analyse it. Juan Antonio, what a sprint, what a win for Elia Viviani of Sky.
It was very exciting to watch, actually. We didn't really know until the finish line if he was really beating Hofland, but it was amazing what they did. I mean, as we were talking before, it was hard to do that plan, protect Richie and go for the victory as well, but they did it. Amazing.
He really did. It was right on the line by half a wheel as well. Let's watch again the last kilometre of this fabulous stage.
Crazy one. Lampre looking probable favourites to do something. And then mechanical issues struck. Was it mechanical? Was it just a touch of the wheels? Was it somebody getting in the way when Modolo wasn't too happy about it? They had Ferrari in the right place. They, of course, had the Richiesi in the right place. Modolo was the man that was trying to go for it. Number 94 at the back there in the pink and the blue jersey. In the meantime, Michael Matthews was really well positioned. Didn't get on the right wheel towards the end, though. It was Viviani who followed the wheels perfectly all the way through. There was Modolo's little incident, blaming somebody for it. I'm sure on reflection he might have a little look and change his mind as to what happened. Greipel going very early, too early. It would be Viviani who would beat Hofland. Greipel finishing third.
Well, you've just seen how close that was. As we said before, Juan Antonio, half a wheel from Hofland, but it was Greipel almost to the line.
We've seen many of them. We've seen Greipel, we've seen Modolo, almost close to the fences, to the barriers. We've seen ʻdʒiːro, we've seen all of the guys that we were thinking at the mix, but the trick of this finish line was that it was never ending, so probably many of them, they went too early. And at one point I thought it was Moreno Hofland, we just saw him pass by behind us, and I thought he was about to win, but Elia Viviani, he was way faster, and he waited even a little bit longer, and at the end he started his sprint, and he made it for win, not for a short gap, but he won.
Now, Elia Viviani's a young guy, not that experienced. Andre Greipel, a really experienced sprinter, and yet he almost got it 10 metres too short, the race, like you say.
Well, the thing is, this type of finish was more for guys like Viviani, so Greipel is more used to sprint, so let's say he excels more in flat sprints, and so that's the reason why he calculated wrong, a little bit wrong way, too wrong. At Viviani, he could feel better the legs, he could feel more this dragging up finish line and pacing himself better.
Well, he certainly paced himself perfectly. Let's hear from today's winner, Elia Viviani of Team Sky.
Elliot, you've been fighting for this victory for a long, long time. You must be feeling ecstatic now to have finally got the win.
Yeah, sure. It's incredible. So this year with the new team, have new motivation. So we are here for make a very good GC with Richie and win the Giro with Richie. And I don't have so much guys for the final, but so you see, today the guys make perfect work for Richie and also for me, because in the last corner, Salva, Puccio and Bernie make in the last 3K incredible work for me.
Tell us about the last 500 metres. Greipel looked to be the first to go, but Hofland was very strong as well.
Yeah, sure. I see Hofland win last week in Yorkshire, and I think today when I see in the sprint, I think this is a good will. Maybe Greipel started the sprint so really long, but I know the road go a little bit up, and I wait the true moment for start my sprint, and so I'm really happy.
Well done, congratulations.
Thanks, really thanks.
A presentation on the stage in just a few moments' time.
È stato, come abbiamo già avuto modo di dire, il vero e proprio guizzo del pistard, quello che ha concesso a Elia Viviani di andare a confessare questa affermazione. Dicevamo un'affermazione importante, tra qualche istante Elia Viviani salirà sul podio dove già presente.
Great to hear from Elia Viviani there, the winner of today's stage. As you can see, we're here just next to the podium, which is just behind us, in fact. So a lot of the riders coming through. Juan Antonio seeing a lot of old friends as well. It's the great thing about being here with such a great friend of the peloton. Tell us more about what today's win means for, not just for Elia Viviani, of course, but for Team Sky and their morale after yesterday too.
Well, they have already the victory, and having a victory in a bunch sprint like today in a team that it's built up, especially for Richie Porte, for GC, is nothing. It's not really easy. We can say that he took advantage of other teams, but at the same time that will bring a lot of tranquility. And probably yesterday was not the result that I expected. It's history. I mean, from now Team Sky will think better and better.
Yeah, absolutely. You talked this morning about how difficult it is for them to protect Richie Porte, but also to have Viviani for the sprint. They did it, and we can hear now from the GC contender from Team Sky, Richie Porte.
We are with Richie Porte, the teammate of the victory of today. Richie, this morning, Elia Viviani said he was the favorite for today, but needed to help you. He won today.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, I had most of the team there supporting me, and then with 3 kilometres to go, when they knew I was okay, they just took Viviani up to the front, and you know, it's fantastic. You know, it's good for the team after yesterday. It's you know, more than we could have expected.
How are you today?
Oh, really good. It's nice to be racing, and you know, it wasn't an easy stage, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next few days, and you know, it's just awesome to win.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Waiting.
Well, just behind us, the stage win has been awarded to Elia Viviani. It was another good day, though, for Orica Green Edge. They did control the race a little bit. They didn't get the sprint win, but Matthews is in pink tonight, Juan Antonio.
Yeah, that was the logical result. I mean, Matthews was the second guy behind Simon Gerrans, and he's faster. So he took the leader, and as you say, they controlled the race, but I think they did the main job at the beginning of the stage, and afterwards was more a control from the race itself. Many teams were interested in keeping GC contenders out of trouble and many other things that at the end that put them out of that control of the race.
The aim for Orica Green Edge, they said, was to win the team time trial yesterday and to control the pink jersey for as long as possible. They've done it, both of their objectives. Matthews last year stayed in pink for 6 days or so. How long can they keep it now, this time?
Well, Michael Matthews said it's a strong climber as well. He's a very good climber. It's something unique. He's a rider that can climb very well. And Abetone is not a very difficult climb. I will say it will very hard. It's going to be very, very hard for him. But he's still there. I mean, who knows? He might get the chance. But remember, we got Chavez also in the team. So he's the climber. So he will probably focus more on Chavez rather than in Matthews.
Tomorrow, of course, we've got our first medium mountain stage, so we will be hearing more from Orica Greenedge, I'm sure. There's a long run into the finish, which suits Matthews a little bit.
Yeah, tomorrow, what I heard, and I was talking with people around here, they were talking about the downhill before the finish line, running into the coast. It's a very winding and narrow and difficult road. So we'll see. I will say, why not a breakaway tomorrow?
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Juan Antonio. We can now hear from the man in pink, Michael Matthews.
Congratulations, Michael, into the pink jersey now, but 7th place on the day. Talk us through those final kilometres of the stage.
Yeah, it was a pretty technical final and fairly fast too, so you had to be in good position in that last kilometre, and we were maybe a little bit far back, so we made the decision to go early from the last corner, but yeah, maybe it was a little bit too early.
Looked like a nervous stage towards the end today.
Yeah, definitely. It was fast all day, so I think it was a pretty nervous stage all round. No one really knew what the wind conditions were going to be like off the water in the final, so yeah, I think everyone was fighting for position the whole day, and I think we were averaging maybe 50k an hour the whole day, so I think with the heat also it made an impact on the day that no one was really used to this sort of weather this time of the year, so yeah, I think altogether it made a pretty hard final.
Michael, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And the new maglia rosa of this Giro d'Italia. Well, not too new. We saw him this time last year. 6 stages he was in the pink jersey. Very similar the way to how he got in pink last year. Placing in a sprint rather than winning it. He then went on to win that wonderfully hard stage up at Monte Cassino. Again, marred by crashes on that then, some rather serious ones too. Michael Matthews, 6 stages in pink last year. The team plan will be hold until stage 5. And with Matthews' climbing capabilities also ever improving, you never know, he might just surprise a few people on Abeton. It all depends on the rhythm that the GC guys are going to go on that day. But he's in pink for now. Another evening to enjoy. And Michael Matthews, the leader of the 98th Giro d'Italia. For the first of at least what he will hope to be a couple of moments on the podium. And it's 2 nights in a row he's been able to fire the Prosecco all over the place. Party time again for Orica Greenedge and Michael Matthews. No stage win today, but they will be in charge yet again of the maglia rosa, the pink jersey for the leader of the Giro d'Italia.
So there you go, the podium is just behind us with all the presentations going on. Juan Antonio, we spoke before about Orica Greenedge controlling the race at the beginning, but then afterwards it was very much Tinkoff Saxo who went to the front and led and put on the pressure.
That's normal. I mean, stages like today, everybody's nervous. Some parts were very technical, so they prefer to put some riders in the front so the team can do this work, which is protecting Alberto easily and saving even more energy. And that's what they did. They put the whole team in the front, riding, especially on the more technical parts and the most dangerous areas, and putting Alberto out of trouble, keeping him safe.
Were you surprised in any way by the way in which Tinkoff Saxo went about leading both on the ascent and the descent, with Ivan Basso taking a real control at the front?
I repeat it. At the beginning of a Grand Tour, when they really commit in and when they really want to avoid, especially really avoid any trouble, that's the way you have to do it. If there's a climb, you have to take the lead with the whole team all together, pace your tempo that the team prefers, and being safe. That was the main goal for them, for sure.
Well, they were certainly safe, and they did protect Alberto Contador. And in fact, our reporter Vincent Renaud has just spoken to Paulinho on the finish line, who explains why they took control the way they did.
Sergio Paulinho. Sergio, we saw the team Tinkoff Saxo all the day in front. How was the plan today?
So the plan is try to save Alberto in these first days, because everybody know it's sometimes it's a big chaos in the final. So in the final, we try to stay in the front with Alberto for stay out of the problems.
There were many crashes today. So you think it was the good solution?
Yes, because in the first days, it's everybody they have a lot of power. It's a lot of stress, and sometimes, like today, they have crashes. So because that you stay in the front for save out of the problems.
Okay, thank you. Obrigado.
So it was a good day for Tinkoff Saxo, a very difficult day though, we think, for Rigoberto Urán. Peter Seri, one of his helpers in the mountain, we've just seen him unfortunately being taken away on a stretcher. What happened, Juan Antonio, and how important will this crash be?
Well, Peter Seri broke his collarbone in that crash and running into Genoa. It was not an easy run on that highway, those bridges with all the barriers and the fences, so that was a very bad crash, and unfortunately he broke his collarbone, so he quit. So that's not good for Rigoberto, because in ethics it's not that they can presume of having many good riders for the mountains, and Peter Seri, I think, it was the key guy for Rigoberto. So unfortunately and sadly they lost him.
And how important is it? I know they've got a team that people have questioned whether or not it really is a balanced enough, a strong enough team for Rigoberto in the mountains. Do you think this is now the end of Rigoberto Urán's GC hopes?
I don't think so, especially because there are other favorites, so he can pass that leadership, I mean, of the race to others, so he can always be around the GC contenders, the mid-GC contenders, until the really end of the Giro. And of course, probably, and the chances that other leaders lose other helpers, other climbers, is high. So I think what he will probably do is just play cool, sit in the back a little bit, behind them, let the responsibility on the others, on others' shoulders, as Alberto and many other guys, and he'll be fine for sure.
Okay, well, we'll see. Juan Antonio is wearing a blue jersey, and at the Giro d'Italia, the blue jersey is for the King of the Mountains, and that jersey is being presented right now on the podium.
New jersey for Bertjan Lindemann. Lotto NL Jumbo with some sort of reward for the day. They'll have been happy to get in a break, and they haven't had enough of this for the sponsors all year. I think the way they've been riding this year, the lack of victories will mean that they're going to try and get in a lot of breakaways at this Giro. The sponsors will want return on their investment, and that in this Grand Tour with Steven Kruijswijk, yes, he's a decent leader. He can aim for top 10, I'm sure, if he wants, but he's not realistically a man that, unless something happens, is going to win this Giro d'Italia. So Lotto Jumbo looking for sponsor time, looking for television time. First man to get on that, Bertjan Lindemann, the King of the Mountains, after stage 2.
Well, straight off the podium, wearing the maglia azzurra, is Bertjan Lindemann. But congratulations today. How important was it for you to start your King of the Mountains campaign in such a good way today?
It's very important. It's just a good kick-off stop for the team to in this race. I think we had a good team time trial, and just try and show what I can do, because I was 1 year out of the Pro Tour and now I'm back, so I want to show what I can do.
Bertjan, proficiat voor jij blue tricot. Eerste etappe, eerste keer op de aanval, and going for the blue jersey on the mountains. I think it's going to be very, very important for you, and knowing the way you like to ride, I really can say that that will give you a lot of confidence for the future and for the future races.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really happy. Last week was also okay. I was third in Romandie in the States. So I think the shape is coming, and we will see what it brings this Giro.
I don't know if you know, but Moreno Hofland, he was very, very close. So I think the atmosphere for the team now, especially starting the Giro like this, means a lot.
Yeah. We're now in the up spiral with the whole team, and I think we're going to make a good result with Stevie overall. Everything, I think we're going to do good.
Good luck for the coming races and coming stages especially.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck, Bert-Jan. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. You can go and celebrate with the rest of the Lotto Jumbo team. Now, Juan Antonio, tell us. Actually, Juan Antonio is meeting friends here, of course. He's such a good friend of the peloton. This is Mr. Dave Brailsford. Dave, can we... We'll speak to Dave a little bit later on. However, we've got the current wearer of the red jersey here. Fantastic. Juan Antonio, an old friend of yours, of course.
Yeah, that was... Well, first I want complimenti per la vittoria, è stato impressionante, bellissimo da vedere. Si parlava anche con Crespo, tu l'assaggiatore prima, che c'è stata una caduta di Ricci.
Of course, there was
un attimo
a nasty fall.
Per voi nervosissimo.
Sì, sicuramente
really
dopo la crono di ieri siamo stati un po'
delusi
after the
time trial yesterday, we were a little disappointed. But I think we wanted to try and bounce back today and win today. It was quite a difficult arrival. I'm here for Richie Porte mainly, but it was just nice to get a win for us well. Glad to take my chances. First stage that I could win. Of course, disappointment yesterday, but it was good to win the sprint today. We were talking about your role at Sky and with Richie Porte, and of course you just getting your own chance at the end.
Però è possibile, ma veramente ti devo dire che non pensavo a te per vincere oggi, perché ce l'hai fatta. Vuol dire che sei
I have to say that I wasn't really thinking that you could win today. Yeah, surely, of course, the team was thinking about Richie. No problem about that. The team's really strong, though. And I think if they can keep Richie covered in the final couple of kilometers, I can perhaps have my chance then. I had a couple of teammates helping me to try and win the stage. So I'm really happy. It's been quite a beautiful thing to win a stage at Giro d'Italia.
Okay, so we've heard from the blue jersey wearer, we've heard from the red jersey winner, and today's stage winner, of course, Elia Viviani. Let's think now, Juan Antonio, a bit about tomorrow's stage. It's the first medium mountain stage. There's some interesting climbs there as well. How do you see it?
That area, Sestri Levante, running into the Cinque Terre, close to the Cinque Terre. It's a beautiful scenario. It's a beautiful area for riding your bike. But the thing is, narrow roads, winding, climbs, steep climbs, downhills. And the thing is, not many times cyclists used to ride on those roads. So I'm very looking forward for tomorrow's stage, because I'm pretty much sure it's going to be very interesting to watch.
It should be fantastic tomorrow. The interesting thing, we talked about it before, is that the second categorized climb still leaves a long descent and a flat run into the finish. Where will the priorities lie for the GC contenders and the teams of them?
Well, we know already the tactics from Orica. They will like to keep the race under control. It's a short stage, it's 130 kilometers, so I think that they will take the effort. They will make an effort about maybe 50 km for controlling the race. They will say, well, this is a stage we need to get through it, especially until the last climb, which you mentioned. But the downhill, still a long way till the finish line, but it's not easy. I think they have to bring back the breakaway, if there's any breakaway before the downhill, otherwise the race is over.
Juan Antonio Flecha, thank you very much indeed. Thank you for joining us as well. It's been a superb day, stage 2 of this 98 Giro d'Italia. We hope you're enjoying Giro Extra. If you're on Twitter, do join us. The hashtag is Giro Extra, and we look forward to hearing from you there and also seeing you again tomorrow. See you soon.
See you soon.